you do things out of spite to hurt me, and now they just won't leave. And they just won't leave. So they just won't leave. And I don't wanna breathe. I couldn't help but notice your pain. Could you share it with me? I recognize the look on your face, it ain't scary to me. Look, I did me some research on you, heard the things that you go through. Feel I'm the man that you need, but still I won't approach you. I just don't know what to do. All the men that you've been with, they will just never get you. You trying to work through the pain, you thinking all men the same. You thinking money's the fix, praising material shit. If you gon' follow the blind, then you gon' fall in the ditch. Baby, your spirit is sick, I cannot deal with this shit. I need to heal from this shit. You wonder why it don't work, you wiping tears on your shirt. You think you hiding your hurt, but I see your pride through your smirk. I see your pride through your smirk. Sometimes I wish you could see exactly how dope you could be. Don't see potential in me. Your heart was broken, believe. You hurt and you've been deceived. Wish I could make you my queen. Wish I could make you my queen. Then we go build us a team. But then I just realize and see. Then I just realize and see that you'll do the same thing to me.
Shout out to my barber. Shout out to my stylist. We are Beards and Baldheads. Your host, Fat Lace. Got the flyest guy on earth to the left of me, True Lies. Y'all was listening to that track. True, what's the name of that track right there?
Defense Mechanism.
You said defense?
Yeah, Defense Mechanism.
Defense Mechanism.
Yo.
I like that right there. I think one of them boxes needed that this
That's
week.
the vibe. That's
real
the
fly
beat.
right
Yeah,
there.
I need that.
I got the Soul Survivor Barry in the building.
Yo, here we go. Another week. Almost there.
Cousin D in the building, Mr. Aggie Prod himself.
I'm back. I'm negative.
He's negative. Get tested out there. And our special guest. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Montclair, because we've been blessed with a lot of Montclair royalty up here. We had my man Trey and Boo from the Cybers Brothers. They've been up here. We had Amira J up here. We got one of the illest visionary artists. This guy's such an inspiration to me. First, let's look at the face right there. Let's look at that man right there. Got my man RC in the building tonight.
What's good, man? What's good, y'all?
He does a lot of things. You might see him at RC9 at 9 with the interviews.
It's RC9 Visions, right?
RC9 Visions, RC9.
He has that one too. He has the Dis 9 art.
That's right.
He's a model. He's a director, photographer.
Doing a lot of dope shit.
That's what he does, D.
That's all you say.
That's all he.
Doing a lot of dope shit.
Yo,
That's what's up.
he does all that.
COVID style.
Yo, like the boy.
COVID style.
There you go. Let it go.
That's it.
Let it go. Yo, we gonna get it because I don't want to tell everything that you do. Not just yet.
Let's get to it now.
Not
It's
just
warm. We
yet.
take his jacket off.
Yo,
It's warm
man,
in here.
hey, man,
Come
if that's what we doing, I don't have the muscles like Cousin D. True Lives been getting busy. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. You know, we gonna get with the truth first. You know, we're gonna get to a monumental day with you. We on Beards and Baldheads. You know, shout out to everybody who has one. And we gonna start with, you know, when I was thinking about Ron, I was like, man, I don't know, because the guy is so good. I don't know how to get the proper introduction. Which way should I go with the direction? I see the purple rain. You playing over there. Flyest guy on earth right here. You know,
Toe drip.
you know when you get
Straight
guests,
Yankee faucet.
when you get guests, it's kind of like recruiting. Like you want to get the best on your shoulder to help you shine. And I was watching this YouTube clip about Michael Jordan, and they were talking about when he was at the ABC camp, how they just saw he was the best and he could just do so many things. And it reminded me of you, of how you could do so many different things. And we're going to get into it, from the photography, the acting, all this stuff. He's so talented. But they knew he had that special gift. And one thing, like the brother Mike, you know, Mike had to come home. and it was a time when you came home. And we're going, like, look at this brother Mike right here. Mike was cool, but until he came fully home and owned What do you know what I mean by coming
You know what
home?
Mike was
That
thinking
was
about
early.
that
By
time?
coming to that bald head.
Mike,
When he
you
came,
gotta understand, what year was that?
That was
What year
early,
that was
too.
early Mike.
What was Mike's mentality in that
I
day?
don't know. I don't know
It
which
was
barber
straight
was.
killer. I don't
Straight
give a
killer?
fuck about my balding. I'm killing everybody in the league. Bird, Magic, Isaiah, Dumar. Even though he ain't make it to the chip yet.
See, that's back
He was in
before
killer mode that day. When you in killer mode,
they didn't
you
have
got
the
flaws.
alternatives that they had.
No.
They didn't have it.
They didn't have all that.
So that's the modern day Chico Bean.
No,
You know,
he was
Chico
coming
Bean,
into
like-
Yo.
No, those guys now can get their hairlines back. He didn't have that option.
No,
He had to pick. He had to
They
make a
had road
choice.
gang though, back then.
they ain't
That
had
wasn't
that.
gonna go.
They ain't had that.
They had plugs, and that wasn't an option.
You
So
know,
he was like, you know what?
Shout out to the
I gotta
plugs.
either go here or there with it.
Looking like
So-
Nate
You pull
Archibald.
LeBron.
So
yeah,
we can't pull our hair across.
you know, I'm
We can't do the comb.
I
over.
respect that. I do respect that better than what LeBron's going through
looking at this
past
pic.
8 years.
That's rough.
It was tough. It was tough. I'm looking at
I
my
had to
boy,
let mine go.
and I see this pic right here. Is this your beautiful sister?
That is my sister.
That's your beautiful sister. And I'm like, at this point,
Only
he's
sister.
looking like me. You know, I was suffering.
Yeah, come on.
I was suffering. Yo, this is a big day when I had to come home.
That
Trust me,
hairline
y'all.
start going back.
I started getting the Wu-Tang. I had the Wu-Tang. It wasn't right. Cousin D had to come home at one point.
I did it. I just said F
Yeah.
it. And
You
The
living
low
like
fade,
this is one with you right here. But then when you came home, you came home for real. Like it was. Tell us about that experience when you came home.
When I came home, see, so what had happened was.
what happened?
Was it a struggle?
No,
Was it
I
hard?
ain't gonna lie to you, it was a struggle
Was
because
it an easy segue?
It wasn't because I was doing some crazy stuff. My hairline was back here, right, and I was still trying to grow my hair. In the middle was thinning. It was shorter than the sides. Now I still was trying to put that joke in braids. I said I'm gonna let it grow. It gotta grow. I ain't ready to let it go, so I had braids that start from back here.
No, you had the Stevie Wonder.
Basically,
Mm.
it was tough. I had to let it go. I had to let it go.
Yeah,
Definitely had to let it go.
What year was it?
That was like 2000 and
Make sure you got that mic so the people.
2010.
2010.
That was 2010.
You're a stronger man than me. I've been fighting since like 06. I knew it was that time, but
We was around the same time. That might have been around my time.
Yeah, that's around the same
I
time.
tried going with the low brush cut, and after a minute, it just don't fade properly.
It take a minute. Yo,
tried
but I'm gonna
to
tell
tie
you,
it down.
this how beautiful barbers are. How they bring everybody together.
Are they though?
Yo, I gotta give a shout out to Crush. James Brother
Yes.
Crush, because
Yes.
that's
That was
one of your
Crush.
barbers.
That's right.
And that's Big Brother. That was one of my barbers. And one of the times when I first saw you, I'm looking at you in a barber chair on his IG. I'm like, yo, that's Ryan right there. Like, that's my man. So it just brought us together. A lot of other things brought us together. One thing I forgot to mention, he's also, a former track athlete star right there. We got
Word. The whoop.
Yo, no, the
Yeah,
boy, he's been in Philly.
absolutely.
He's been in Philly.
Absolutely.
Know what that
He know
means,
about that
Absolutely.
pin relay. He know about that pin
Hold
relay.
down. They watch out.
Word.
They
That's
coming.
when
They
people start
coming.
standing up on the bleachers like, oh,
It gets
Yeah.
real.
it's about to go down.
It gets real. It gets real.
Wow.
Yo, I'm feeling sorry. This is a big weekend, and since we talking about sports and we talking about the track, but this one sport was main one this weekend. That Mike Tyson versus I don't even know Roy Jones.
Roy Jones.
Did y'all see that?
I seen the previews.
That's all really you need to see.
I seen the previews.
Fight.
Yeah, that fight.
Woo.
I felt bad for Roy Jones and
I mean, I
the
felt like
post.
I feel
he
like
was hurt.
I feel like they both held their own.
Right.
Roy was on the defensive because he didn't want to get hit with one of those.
He said he was
He
feeling
knew.
them.
Yeah, he knew. He knew Mike can. Mike at any time can
Turn
snap
up,
and pop
right.
your ass. And Roy was looking out for that the entire fight. You could tell that. But I think it was pretty entertaining. I think they could do it again.
Think so?
But I think they could do it again. But your boy Nate.
Yo, Nate.
Ooh.
I thought I had to join.
They took over. They was the show.
Nate Robinson turned
I
into
respect
the
Nate.
meme
He an
of
athlete.
the year.
You got to. By
He's an athlete.
far.
I respect his gangster, but
Yo,
Nate, come on,
he
man.
was in the wrong game.
He went in with the wrong strategy.
What was up with your boy, T? Like he was.
I ain't got nothing bad to say
Is
about
it?
it.
Yo, I wouldn't touch that arena right there, man.
He did it. Man.
I can't get into boxing like that. I was the best time I was boxing was when this came out right here. That Mike Tyson punch out.
Oh,
I was
man.
tough. I was tough, Barry. Could you ever beat Mike Tyson?
I got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Do you got him?
I don't think I ever got Tyson.
I never got Tyson.
either.
Ryan, you ever beat
Me
Tyson?
either.
How
No,
far you
no.
got?
What's that big fat?
King Hippo?
Yeah.
King Hippo?
You just had to get the pattern down for King Hippo.
Yeah.
You know the reward
My
for
man was
beating
the
Mike
Sandman.
Tyson.
The Sandman gave me problems.
You tell the reward for beating Mike Tyson.
What's the
Mike
reward?
Tyson punch out.
All you got was your name in the paper, your picture.
That was big though, Nintendo days.
It was big, but damn.
It was real. You know, I definitely.
Yeah, Soda Popinski was a
did
slouch.
show you-
Popinski
it
was
showed
that
you in the
one.
paper as a champion.
I didn't get it. You know, but remember back in them Nintendo days, they had these cheat codes to get to the top.
Up, down, down.
Up,
left, right,
yeah,
left,
the
right,
Contra
NBA
codes, you
start.
got extra 30 man. And people just thought they could beat Mike Tyson because they had a little code. I forgot what it was, and they could skip right.
But he could only hit you once, maybe twice.
And
that
you
was
done.
it.
And you
was it.
done.
Yeah.
He catch me with that uppercut.
You know,
That sweet chin music.
And it took me a long time. I got him.
it's.
Never.
I see a lot of people trying to use cheat codes nowadays when it come to work, though. They're
Work?
trying to be the best. We're trying, especially when it comes to this art game. Especially when you got photography. You got a lot of people. Everybody got a podcast now. Everybody got a show.
Right.
Everybody got some
Everybody
clothes.
taking pictures.
Everybody
Yeah.
taking pictures.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody
and-
trying to be creative.
They not stretch.
Everybody trying to be lucrative.
Yeah.
I like that.
Lucrative.
You get a point for lucrative. We gotta watch Ryan.
I
Man.
mean,
We do points.
No,
We do
but
point. They take a
It's not a
shortcut.
bad thing that people trying to do whatever.
Yeah, it's
But the
good.
picture game is serious because
No, it's a bad thing.
you can
Nah,
what?
It's a bad thing that they try and take these shortcuts because they're not putting in the work.
Well, I mean, it'll shift itself out.
Yeah, that is a good point. Me and TJ was just talking about putting in the work.
It's like all these designers. I mean, eventually you'll know who has quality and who doesn't. So it'll all pan out in the end.
I was talking.
Really, if you just keep at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You never know. Somebody might start off a certain way and end up something else.
There's too many people with that instant gratification, just trying to just do it for the
That's
likes,
that's
trying to do
social
it for the
media, though.
post, and that's what they try to
Well,
skip
that's
the
social
steps.
media. That's social media.
You
If
don't-
you're doing it as a means of finance, and that's just what you really wanted to do in life. Some people got degrees in that and never really could get into the business because it was politics involved.
Right.
But now you can because you can do it on your own. So I get those people, but the ones that's just like you saying, looking to YouTube and trying to mimic.
It's
They-
a lot of
but they-
stuff doing that.
But sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
It ain't gonna last
You'd
long.
be surprised how many
It
people
ain't
just
gonna
got
last
on
long.
just by chance.
People like a different twist to something, but only for so long.
Only for so long. I'm gonna tell you, don't skip them steps.
But you could get rich off of 15 minutes.
And this ain't no
You
15
can, but what
minute
you gonna
rate.
do 32 minutes from then?
There you
I'm
go.
just saying, once you get rich, that's whatever what you do after that with your bread. If somebody hit
But
me
that
off,
bread ain't gonna last. That 15-minute
you
bread.
give me $1 million contract for
That's
some bullshit I
15-minute
did.
bread.
That's all I
It's
need.
gonna go just as fast as it came. So what you gonna do after that?
That's that 15 minutes.
But I'm just saying, some people that's all they know they're gonna get because they don't have the talent.
So
They
you
don't
happy
know
with
that.
Or do you have to? You have to evolve. You gotta
Well,
evolve.
if
your
somebody
game.
give you $1 million, you won't evolve.
You do need to evolve.
I'm
because
just saying,
you're
you
gonna run
won't.
out-
Could
First
you
of all, that
evolve if I
$1
just
million
gave you-
isn't $1 million.
I'm just asking you, could you
That's like
evolve if somebody
540,
gave it to
maybe,
you?
depending on who you are.
No,
and
if somebody
what
cut
got
you a
paid.
check and said, "Look, for this gimmick thing you just did, we're gonna give you $1 million." I mean,
like
look,
that. Well,
you
let's-
got guys getting richer off of dumber shit.
They
than that.
are.
Like
but,
Shiggy.
but how long will it last? How long will it last? I like that number, $1 million.
And how you invest your money.
You
I
gotta
like that
invest
$1 million
money. That's
number. And I'm talking about skipping steps and talk about some things how they started. I remember when you was talking the other day. You're 9 years old. Let's tell them what you would tell people. That $1 million talk. Tell them what you would tell them. Thank you, B.
No, I was just as a kid, man, I was always felt like I was gonna, be successful and do great things. And so I would ask kids, my peers, like, do you think you're gonna be rich when you get older? You think you'll be? Some would say yeah, some would say no. But I don't know why that was in me. But something was in me just to let me know that I was gonna be successful, that I was gonna do big things. I just had a greater a pulling in me just to be great, just to be successful. And I don't know why I asked people that. I don't know why I was going around asking 9-year-olds, 8-year-olds, do you think you're gonna be rich? Do you think you're gonna be poor? Some will actually say yeah, some will say no. So I'll never forget that. But that stayed with me as I got older, and that drove me to create, to explore, to just go, do different things, because whatever is in me is still not asleep yet. It's still
Definitely
awake. It's still
not.
roaring.
Definitely not. And you've been working at this even when you didn't know where you were working at. You've been
Right.
applying some of your steps in life, even when you didn't know that was one of the stepping stones to get you there.
Absolutely.
Like
It got me in a lot of trouble too.
It happens.
Taking shortcuts.
Taking shortcuts.
Because I got this vision in my head. How I'm gonna get rich. I know I'm gonna get rich. I just don't know how. So you wind up dibbling, dabbling.
But trouble is growth, is it not?
Yes.
It's got to be growth. You can't learn unless you get into those troublesome patterns or mistakes or things that teach you how to get on that right path. So
Absolutely.
You need that growth in your system.
Absolutely. Yeah, I learned a lot.
One of the jobs that you had so many jobs. So a man who I know has so many jobs, and for the fact right now you're living your passion. I don't know. I mean, he did get busy at Penn Relays.
Oh,
he did. I mean, he might be Jamaican. Like
Jamaican descent.
I don't
know.
know.
I ain't doing my DNA test. Some people think I'm Jamaican. Some people think Haitian. Think I'm African. They think I get all kinds of stuff.
He's done a lot. He's definitely done a lot, and it started as a young kid. Because you could talk to people so well, but when I'm watching with the RC9 interviews, I'm like, man, this man has it. He has a gift. He has a skill set. And you've been practicing without even knowing, even as a young kid. Let's talk about one of them jobs that help you own your skills without you even knowing it.
Well, it had to go back to probably my very first job before I got my first official job on papers. It was a company called back in the day called Olympia Sales Club.
Olympia Sales Club.
Yeah, doing door-to-door sales. Door-to-door sales. Like as a kid.
How old are you at this time?
I probably was probably middle school, actually. Probably around middle school age. I started probably 11, 12. Definitely was middle school age. And one of the things I learned, I just wanted to get money. I just wanted to do something. They send a packet to the house, and they say, if you sell X amount of this, you get a certain amount of points. You get this telescope, you get this and that. Or you had the option to get $2 off of everything that you sold and keep the money. So, obtaining that skills and, that I started unbeknownly building people skills, going up and, going door to door, literally. B2B. Like I'm selling paper wraps. I'm selling birthday cards. I'm selling, Katie type stuff.
And you were confident doing it.
Yeah, I was having fun because I'm like, I had a goal in mind. It sets you up. It structures you in the whole package to, okay, I want this. I want these binoculars, so I got to sell this and this to get these binoculars. Or I want this telescope, or I want whatever. Maybe I want money this go round. So it got me started in the right direction as far as getting money and hustling, unbeknownst to me. So
you always had a goal.
So I was getting it in.
You want to say it again, T?
So you always had a goal.
Yeah.
So you always had a goal.
Yeah, goal. I mean, it definitely taught me to be goal oriented, and I learned that from my father because growing up, my father always had used to sell side things like cigarette lighters or buttons. People used to make buttons back in the day. Socks and things of that nature. He had a job, but he always had some kind of side gig or a hustle to get extra money. So I think seeing him doing that and taking those steps with the Olympia Sales Club probably motivated me to do what I, do that door to door because I seen my father do it.
We talk about how stuff starts off at the home. And your parents been married for like over 40 years, and they played a big part.
Yeah.
And how would I'm not going to ask how.
Applause to that.
We got to get applause for that one right there.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for that.
And it wasn't hard. They were young parents too. They started
50%
off.
50% of African American marriages end in divorce. I can attest to that. So
I can attest to that.
And it gets real, like being a young parent.
Better too.
Yeah, that's real.
Being a young parent.
That's what they say.
Like you started off as a young parent. Is this yours right here?
Yeah.
Is this your first?
That is my first.
This changed your life right here.
Yeah, that's my oldest right there. That was going on 20 years ago.
You look real mean in that picture. Like you had a lot going on right there.
What?
Like
I'm confused. I didn't know what I was doing.
How do you feel at this point?
I literally was on 2nd Avenue in Plainfield in that picture.
Joey, he's on the west. He on Second, like he's out there.
That's
what happened because he moved to Plainfield. It made him look like that.
I asked him.
I'm sorry.
I was like, where you from? You from New York? Because I know you got a lot of guests that come from New York. He's like, no, I'm from around the way. I lived in Plainfield, and,
Montclair, EO,
all
that.
Jersey. That's
Yes.
what's up.
Nah, definitely.
All Jersey struggles are the same, no matter what part of the area you come from.
This is you right here.
Hysteria?
No, FUBU jerseys and do-rags. And
Yeah. Nah, that's us. That's us. You can spot them. This changed your life right here.
Definitely.
This changed your life because
I wore football jerseys.
before this, you was going to FDU.
Yep. Before that was FDU. And after FDU, I went to the military.
Went to the military, and we was going to talk about that too. Like he did a lot of things. Y'all can see him. Look at him.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Army, that Air Force. Look at that smile. You wasn't too happy in the Army.
Wow. So you participated in 2 branches of the military.
Yes, sir.
What made you do that?
So the first one, I I got into it because I was in college. I went there for about a year, and then I said, you know what, my parents are paying out of pocket, you know, for that. So, you know, the funds right now, I was like, you know what, let me go to the military where, you know, they could pay, they could pay for your tuition and then things of that nature. So that's how I got in that. And I signed up even before I got out, the semester ended for college. So that's how that happened.
But you went from Air Force to Army.
And, well, that happened because I took a 11-month.
Air Force was too soft for you. Wanted some harder shit, huh?
No. I went. No,
he went.
Army to Air Force.
Right. You went from Army for the Air Force. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Look at the smile, like that's hard right there.
Right,
That hard Army face is the face he got right here.
Though, right?
Yeah, it's more technical. You know, it's the younger branch out of all the services in the military. So when I made that switch, I got out of the Army because I had, you know, eventually I got married to my kid's mom. You know, we had by this time was getting ready to have our third kid when I got out of the Army. And the reason being, got out of hardship because she had complications with her pregnancy. We was having twins. You know, make a long story short, it got big. I was overseas in Iraq, but I had to come back home because, you know, long story short, we lost one of the babies. So I had to get out on a hardship to take care of that before we even lost the baby because we went through many procedures.
What ages is at this time?
I was had to be, that's my third son, so that's 24.
24.
24.
3 kids.
Yeah, 24.
Married.
Yep.
This is a real life.
Yeah.
This is real grown.
And you're on the other side of the world almost.
On the other side of the world, I had to come back home.
Definitely Jamaican or Dominican.
Doing big things. But
that's big. Like in that time, you saw time over in
Iraq. That's doing when everything was going on.
In the Army branch. What about in the Air Force?
In the Air Force, not too much. I was, you know, pretty much home. The Army is where I went overseas in Kuwait and Iraq. Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by the Air Force people because I think Air Force and I think like you were flying jets.
Everybody thinks
like that.
Everybody.
That's not all the Air Force entails and stuff like that. So what were your duties for the Air Force?
Well, Air Force, I was a medic. I was a medic in Air Force. So I went there as a flight medic and, you know, in training. I was totally different from what I did in the Army. In the Army, I was just a cook.
Okay.
I was a cook in the Army. I went in there. I mean, when I first took the test, you know, BS the test, and you know, didn't really take it serious. But when I made that switch, I was older, a little more mature, had a, you know, somewhat a better head on my shoulders. So I retook the ASVAB.
What's your tater salad looking like? You know, it makes me good tater salad.
You need that.
You know, because my last name Cook, they call me like Cook the Cook.
They wanted me to go to the Air Force after college. They said, "Oh, you gonna be an officer and all that." And I was like, you know, thinking about the Air Force, like he said, flying jets. Didn't realize how much time they actually spent on the water. Like the Air Force they're on the water most of the time. And
you talking about the Navy? You talking about the Navy?
No, a lot of a lot of Air Force people do spend a lot of time on aircraft carriers out in the ocean and stuff. Yeah. I had a cousin who was also in the Navy, and he spent 90% of his time underwater.
Right, underwater, underwater. See, they're underwater, but the Air Force is actually on the water a lot.
On the water, yep.
And I didn't know that. Like they're out for months and months and months on end.
As a veteran, you know, we salute our veterans, and I'm saluting you right now. That's one of the scariest professions for me. You know, between that and between boxing. Now, you know, I couldn't do neither one of them, and people salute you, and sometimes that brings fulfillment with the gratification, but something in you was missing. Because I'm sure you always, from the beginning we started. Okay. And then we stopped once we got to FDU, and then we had to transition to another job. We got a kid who just came, and life is getting real. You got to hustle and bustle. You doing everything to make it and provide for your family.
That's correct.
And now you're at a point where I have to get this out of me. I can't live right. I'm sure it affected everything in your life, from home life with the wife, the kids, whoever, and inside yourself, because you're not letting your art out.
Right.
When did it come to that point where it's like, yo, I got to get it out? I remember you telling me something about I'll let you talk about it.
So basically the art, that came much later, but I was always an explorer, I was, you know, learning, always willing to, you know, take risk, and I always had ideas. So if I wasn't doing the art physically with my hands and actually performing, in my head, I'm always creating and imagining things. I'm always visualizing stuff. I'm seeing things different, how something can be improved, how if I invented this and if I could just put these people together and have this kind of meeting, you know, my mind was always going. So that never stopped when I was not, you know, actually physically doing it. So the art didn't come out to probably
pursuing it as a passion. I remember you were telling me about you wanted to start with the interviews,
right?
And the interviews transitioned into photography.
So that
Who
was.
Did you start with the photography with? I think it was a modeling company.
It was 2000. Well, now we're going way for it. So it's 2016. Yeah, we hopping a lot because now I'm on a second marriage. I'm on a second marriage by this time, right? And this marriage is is done and over with. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and really. That's when the beats start coming out. That creative part of me. I said, you know, it's more of me I could do. Because prior to my marriage falling, I'm going to take it back a little bit. I was doing radio. I was doing, hosting. Me and my man was doing a light and radio. And we had a thing going on. We had programs. We had a whole bunch of stuff. So I gained my experience in that, and I gained my experience from also interviewing around that same time because I started helping out this company called Initials Entertainment in Newark, which was part of my acting, when my acting started. It was acting.
The boy, you see him right there. Speaking of the acting, he looked like he about to pop somebody. You look like the drone.
I was an abusive husband in that.
Oh yeah, you're looking like the part. You're looking like the part. Just talk about this one, because all this play a part of your journey.
Like baby boy.
My name was Andrew, and this play was called "Didn't Know My Own Strength." So it was about the whole family, a lot of stuff going on. Father was abusive, and everybody's dealing with whole kinds of issues. Some people's on drugs. Stuff everybody deal with in the community, everyday life. A whole bunch of family turmoil. And so that was an intense. I was playing the abusive father, and the son pretty much got fed up one day, and it got real. It got real, but the whole story is based upon that lady you see probably in the future shirt, and when she gained her strength and was able to fight back and regain her strength and move on. But it's a really deep play by Michael G. Carr, senior. Senior. Didn't Know My Own Strength. You guys gotta look that up on Facebook or whatever have you. I'm quite sure they had a DVD. I'm on a DVD, so there's a DVD out with that in it.
Is it a straight play or is it musical?
Oh yeah, it's a musical. Anything initial entertainment do it's a musical.
All right.
Some talented people. I mean, we have descendants of Whitney Houston up in the play and everything. Aunts and uncles because he from Newark, so he grew up with them, so he knew their family and everything, and they in the music industry. So so it was ready.
Yeah, I just figured it might,
So you're an actor also. How'd you get into acting?
By dealing with this company, and once again, it came by way of because I was doing photography, and that entered me to that door. And I was just doing event photography, and I would say this is around, 2000 and still around the 2011 time period, 12 time period, when I was just really getting my hands on photography, just doing events. And I think he looked me up one day on the Facebook and saw that I did some work and invited me to come in and help him promote a couple of events. And I guess as we built a rapport, then I tried my hand in acting. It's something I always wanted to do anyway, because back when I was in college, I actually tried to go to a casting call and did an audition and stuff. So that was something that was always in me to do.
I always wanted to be on the Real World. And then
I did too.
Put me on the Real World. Let me be that nigga on the Real World. They be like, this motherfucker's a fucking.
We had a lot of plays. I mean, I remember back coming up through middle school. I was happy. I just so happened to be in the choir, the chorus, and we always had plays. They using the chorus, they automatically made you be in the play.
See, my parents used to set me up.
I did that
They used to hit my teachers like, make him do that verse.
Yeah, so I did that from 6th grade.
Here I am doing
all the way up to 11th grade, And we was acting, not knowing that we was acting with no training. We were going to Florida, traveling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were taking us places. We was going to D.C. We were actually putting on performances with the band, playing, the score. That's what we were doing. This is middle school.
Well, that was great.
But I'm saying, it's terrible that you don't have that anymore.
Not enough.
You need
like
more.
now you do, I think the dance teacher does like certain things, but they don't have full productions like it used to be.
Like my homegirl Sherilyn, she's a dope dance teacher, and she gets her kids.
Playful got a nice one. Mr. Teller is dope.
She works in Franklin, Somerset area, and she gets her kids in they shits when it comes to performances and dance and choreography and stuff like that. So
I just think it need to be pushed more.
Share for that out there teaching.
Absolutely.
I think we push more because a lot of these kids have talent.
Dance arts and performance arts.
Absolutely.
More or less performance arts, not even dance.
Especially for the men.
It's needed.
It's dance.
Right.
Definitely
Especially for men.
Especially for the males.
We get left behind.
I just think they don't feel like it's something that It's cool.
Especially males that can do splits.
But
too,
then
you gonna get that role.
He just hurt me, right? He said males do splits. Wait a minute.
Yo, so you been touching all of you crazy, D.
I just talking about the acting part of it.
Nah, definitely.
You
You being on stage. You being on stage. It's one of your stages right here. So you're taking this and applying it to your arts right there. You're just building your arsenal up to when it's time for you to execute what you've been doing lately so heavy. All this started from back then.
Right.
And even some of the other endeavors that you had, like I can't even say the word. I'm gonna let all the ladies, y'all see that man right there. Y'all say they saying they fill in some comments.
Who's that? Is that Keenan Ivory Wayne?
I don't know. The boy is sharp.
Oh,
The boy is sharp.
Stranger.
He's on all these stages.
No, Stranger.
He's modeling. He's acting. He's interviewing.
Right there.
This right here takes a lot of heart.
Especially with your chest
Everybody
hanging
can't do it.
Right.
Got the chest hanging out.
I need to do some more abs, some more workouts right there.
When the
So I-
taco meat performed and you on another
You know,
level. Right?
True Lies could do that. You know, it's all types of
You think?
performing.
I think you can.
True Lies can. That's the flyest guy on earth.
What,
You
model?
try to
Yeah,
act all quiet and humble.
T
You try to act all quiet and humble.
T
You
definitely-
gonna have one of those.
He
Nah, I
definitely
did
did
You
the
gonna have one of
modeling.
those still performances in Juice, and you'd be like, "Yo, this nigga can act."
T definitely did the modeling.
I think everybody up here probably been at least one fashion show.
One of them hair shows
me.
that you
even
had
as a
to.
kid.
Not
That's where I
me.
started as a kid.
Dude, come on, dude.
I've never been in a fashion
Yeah,
show.
you've been in one of them
Listen,
college fashion
At
shows
North
that
Carolina
nobody know
A&T,
about.
When the
Oh,
fashion
I
people
forgot
used to
about
have their
those.
fashion show,
Right.
me and my
Yeah.
Jersey people used to be up on the balcony
Uh-huh.
throwing toilet paper down at people,
The-
and we was I've never been in a
The
fashion
sororities
show
on my
ever.
campus used to always grab us because we was on the football team. Whether we liked it or not, they would
See, I'm
they
an
would grab
introvert.
us
I'm
and
an
make us
introvert,
be in
so
their
I
talent
never dealt
in
with
their
that
fashion
shit. I
show.
couldn't do it.
You a what?
Introvert.
Introvert.
Nah,
he get a
I'm-
point for
nah,
introvert.
I don't believe
I don't
Nah.
believe it at all.
You
Come
don't
on,
believe it?
come on.
Listen, Dion Hackett is an introvert.
Come on, Julio Hackett.
Julio Hackett.
Come on, Julio
is
Hackett.
a totally another story.
Come on, man.
That's another guy. I don't know him.
So nigga, you got split personality. You
Yeah, it
schizophrenic.
does.
Sorta.
Depending where it goes. So you got all this stuff that you've been doing, applying all these steps, putting all this work in, so much work in, and it makes you help to relate to all these people that you've been interviewing.
Right.
And if y'all have not checked the RC9 at 9 on Wednesday interviews, do yourself a favor. Please check it out any Wednesday or go to his IG. And well, tell me about how those experiences, how they do help you. Like this one part right here, I forgot this young lady that you have. This was such a powerful.
Oh, Amber Lay.
Has it helped you out with your interviews? Period.
Amber, you know, like I said, I meet a lot of interesting people interviewing. Like you never know what people go through. You never know their walks of life. You never know their trials and tribulations, they struggle. And one of the things I enjoy about interviewing people is learning their background. I like behind the scenes. I like the making of a person. I like, hearing about their struggles and what it took for them to get to where they are, or what's driving them to do what they're doing, whether it's an organization, whether, it's a podcast. But this particular one, she has an organization called From Pain Into Power. Is dealing with domestic violence and, women who's affected by that. But she's also the executive assistant for DJ Sus One. And, she works with him, side by side, and she does a lot of great things in the industry. And she's models she's done music videos, things of that nature.
One of the things that touched me so much with that interview right there is she was talking about domestic violence
Right.
and stuff like that. But when you asked about the men and are you here for men, and she said yes, men need help too, and all of us like our Mondays is our therapy. When we could come together, because we all have our lives is topsy-turvy, and we talk after the show for an hour,
Right.
before the show, and we get to fit the time in. And we just talk to your life, I'm going to say just to 24, from the army to this and that, kids, ex-wife, all this stuff going on. How do you stay focused, and how do you, because I'm sure it's a lot of pain that's in there.
Well, I stay focused by, I get myself in the trenches of my craft.
Okay.
My craft balances me. My photography is my release. If it's modeling for the season, that's my release. If it's acting, that's my release. So I stay creative. I keep on creating, and it helps me release that energy and that tension, whatever is in here. Because a lot of times, sometimes we could just have that tension and the struggles, and we just ball inside, and we don't know how to release it. So we release it in destructive ways. It could be drinking, it could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wait, what?
So that's how I keep myself balanced for the most part and level head. And first and foremost, it's God. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of God, and I'm a believer in Christ. So that's my foundation. That's my foundation.
Look,
Exactly.
with this one right here, some people think we had this before with a guest, and the guest said, everything I had, I prayed for.
Yes.
And you're a man of Christ, and I can't say one verse, but I believe in Christ. I believe in God. TJ, I can go for him for, like, that's what in the Bible it says this right here. On our first conversation, we were talking about. You said, what got us together, and I was like, art and God.
Yes.
Cause we got real spiritual.
Right.
And this picture right here, I'm like, this is a powerful picture of you praying. How much do you pray and execute? And how does Christ affect your life?
I pray every day.
Praying is
it's a lifestyle.
Animalistic feature in us, because you gotta think praying isn't not only looking into what you want to find for yourself, but what do you do when you search for prey? You hunt the prey. You got to find the prey. You got to learn to pray before you know how to take it down.
And sometimes
so
you are the prey.
Exactly. So praying is just more than getting down on your knees and asking for something.
Absolutely.
So how has it affect you? When how important is it?
It's funny. On the way here, I was just having this conversation today with one of my friends, and I was like, man, if it wasn't for God and if it wasn't for my relationship and prayer, I don't know how I get to the half of the stuff I've been through in life, more than half of the stuff, as far as being a foundational thing for me, just to, just be level-headed and level-footed, and also just making wise decisions. When you're in a situation with a divorce, or you're dealing with baby mama drama, and I have 4 kids. I have 5 kids now.
Oh, I think you hit a bunch of spectrums with that.
So I'm telling you, if it wasn't for God, and I'm not saying I do everything right, and I make a lot of mistakes, but I'm telling you, if I didn't see God and really consult Him and really pray and just cry out, and I'm not talking about always on my knees and it's like, just saying those model prayers. I'm like, Lord God, you gotta help me, you gotta fix this, because I don't know what I'm doing.
There's a balance.
Yeah, right.
There's a balancing. You gotta have that balance to be able to maintain the level-headedness from the BS that comes with that baby mama drama, or hopefully past divorces, because I'm a divorcee too. Hopefully you can develop that type of relationship where, with that first wife, you got to figure that out so that you can make. Are you still married now?
No, I'm not.
So you've been through two divorces now. So I'm not trying to blow it up, but goddamn, like,
and
how do you deal with that? You got to deal with 2 ex-wives on another level where kids with both?
No.
Okay.
My first wife, 4 kids, but now just recently had a baby.
First of all, you recently had the illest. What kind of pictures we call this, T? The
maternity.
Maternity. This is one of the best maternity photos I've ever seen right here. Like you're nice with it.
This is the baby.
That's the new baby, right?
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Well,
Congratulations!
Because I don't want no new babies.
Right?
So that's first and foremost.
That might be next on my roster.
Some of my habits are causing me to say, like, listen, you need a vasectomy. Yeah. Some of my habits are causing me to do that. So I'll leave it at that and say that finding new love is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
It's a good thing, but it's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
It's a challenge
because you have to learn somebody else, and
you still come with your bag.
So do you ever feel like you failed at the relationship level because you've been divorced twice?
Absolutely. And I don't know if I would say failed. I think I'm
lacking.
Just either lacking, evolving. I'm evolving differently. I'm evolving differently because when you go through something, you can't change what you went through. It's going to affect you, whether it's for the good or the bad. You know what I'm saying? But now you have a whole new insight. You have a whole new perception of life, and whether no perception of what failure means or what achieving means. You know what I'm saying?
So in your growth, have you evolved? Have your exes evolved as well, or have you been the only one that seemed to have evolved? Because evolution is whoever can take that experience and build off of it? Have you built off of that and be able to excel yourself, or?
Absolutely, I believe with every relationship and every marriage that I've been through, I definitely evolved. It's a price because it's a loss. I lost something, so that loss caused me to feel something, and then feeling that pain, brought something out of me.
Women take a lot.
But you a young man that decided
especially
to
when
get
you
married.
Raw. Women know how to get the most out of you when you hitting raw, especially when you hitting raw, because that emotion goes through those secretions.
Listen, it's the energy, exchange of the energy, changing them spirits, man.
That means a lot in a relationship that I think people don't understand.
Right.
Which is why I think that people need to promote more safe sex.
Hey, man, it's going to be hard to promote it when they looking at all these sexy women like this, because what you did do,
On the beach,
he focuses, took all this pain, he took all that pressure, took all that, and he focused on his art, he focused on his craft, and that's why we got beautiful pictures like this right here.
Appreciate you, yeah.
You put your work in your art right here. Let's talk about this one right here. Where we at? Who's this?
So this is what's the name of that town?
You're not just a regular photographer, let's be clear.
Listen,
That's not
I'm
our
just
fault.
creating out here. I'm just creating.
that was down at the Jersey Shore or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's about Seaside Heights.
Seaside Heights,
She's
okay.
from
Now
Fort
I'm gonna tell
River.
you
She's from Fort
one
River.
of the things you have pictures of beautiful women, and sometimes it could be in a sexier manner, sexier fashion. And one of the quotes that it came from, I think is it Armani Bellamy? Is that somebody?
Armani.
Armani Bellamy. She says, "I come alive in front of the camera. I'll be a whole nother person. Ryan Cook's the best. He travels and comes with direction and unique ideas. And you're making them comfortable. You're making a setting so no matter how they are, you have these women. Because like sometimes there's some creeps in this industry that make photographers look bad. And you are not one of them. You're not one of them. So you have this woman who can feel comfortable like this right here. You have a woman
like that last woman you did at the beach. That's the first time at the beach. First time we actually did a shoot together. So it's an art. Dealing with people, having people skills, and knowing how to make people feel comfortable. And it seemed like this. Like we were on the beach. We were it was probably me at the time, one of my ex-girlfriends, but she had to get naked in front of me. Like she never worked with me before. You get what I'm saying? To do that shoot. So it's a level of comfortability and respect, and you have to know. You have to be able to fill out the person's energy.
But do you put them on to that beforehand? Do you say, listen, we're doing these pics. You might have to take all your clothes off. Do you forewarn them of the possibility of encountering that type of encounter before you get there, or do you just spring it on?
Because you come with the vision, correct?
Right.
Like
so that one that was for our birthday shoot. Most of the people who come to me with those type of visions.
Birthday shoot.
Right.
Got it. Say no more.
Yeah, they want to do that.
Yeah, they want to do it. I really don't. I don't solicit them like, hey, I want this shot. You're gonna have to be in there. So most of the shots I do like that. No, all of them. They come to me with that vision, and it may start with usually get 3 outfits or 3 clothes changes, and maybe the last one is lingerie. I noticed like women feel the most best. They take the best pictures when they have the least amount of clothes on, and it's not even being funny.
Especially
like
when
they
it's
just
the
comfortable
last option because they build up to that.
Right, that comfort level,
So
and
you're
that
starting
time
with the
and chemistry,
covering of this and that, but as you segue into that more provocative area,
right, they're able to fill your energy
more
out.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Are you loosening them up with any type of spirits or beverage, wine,
music?
or
music definitely. Always, music has to always be on deck. Rarely, I'm telling you, rarely, not no spirits and nothing.
I think any female that takes pictures in lingerie, that's something that's what they wanted to do.
Right.
And that's something that they've been waiting to do. So they've been prepared. They've gotten their poses down. They've been practicing that probably for a long time.
Well,
and they've gotten the
probably taking selfies in the mirror at home.
Past the screening point of him.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about regular.
Option,
I'm just talking about regularly.
Like,
Like,
I'm
chicks
not,
take
let's
pictures
go,
of themselves all the
up.
time in the mirror at home.
Mm-hmm. Now,
to have a professional do it, a lot of times that's their dream.
Does it come from referral? Like, because you have multiple women who, and that's not the only type of picture he has. We're going to get to more.
Right.
So does it come from referral? Like, I feel comfortable with him, and now they call their friend, or now they, like, how does it work most of the time?
So it's a combination of both. It's me doing my own soliciting as far as, do my due diligence, my footwork, hand out my business card. If I see somebody has a look and I want to shoot them, they come that way. And some may not hit me back maybe to a couple months later. Oh, yeah, I have your card. Remember you hit me up? And they'll watch you for a while. Some will watch you for a while to see how you move, to see how you work with other people. And some will ask other models, what about this guy? How is he? Because everybody, like you said earlier, there are a lot of creeps out there, and a lot of people photographers getting a bad rap for what's going on out in the industry. And so, with referrals and my own initiative.
I love this picture right here. Let me just say that. What was your vision with this one right here?
So I wanted to represent with that Black excellence. And it's a celebration, and it's with the balloons.
Yeah.
So she came from Connecticut. She used to live in New York. She drove Connecticut to Metuchen, New Jersey to come shoot, and we just created. We literally, had a vibe. We met in 2016, so we already knew each other. We already had a rapport. But for this one, me, her, and her sister, we probably blew up 100 black balloons by mouth. That they just blowing up balloons.
That's what it is.
Anything for the shoot, and we just brought it together.
I'm gonna tell you before we continue, we got a lot of people on the check-in. They loving you out here. Montclair's in the building. Shout out to Mickey and Lisa on the check-in.
All right, Mick, Lisa.
Shout out to my cousin. Shout out to Janique. She's in the building. Shout out to my man Sight. Shout out to my man Mike Jackson. Shout out to everybody who is on this check-in right here. We appreciate the support. When speaking of Mickey and Lisa, they I saw something that I think one of them put up. Forgive me, who did. Talking about real friendship, and they say you're a real friend. If you'll pick them up from the airport. And they said, shout out to my boy Ryan picking me up from the airport. Y'all know that's a real type friendship.
Shout out to where they coming from.
Yo, shout out to Mickey.
You don't know none of that.
East Coast,
Delta,
Dubai, they be running all over the place.
That's a real friendship.
Shout out to Barber Twins.
The Barber Twins in the building. Let's get it.
Yo, let's talk about your relationship with these track elite women, such beautiful women, great down-to-earth women. And I know one of the things they trust you with prayer. That's big. That's Absolutely. Big. And y'all just chop it up. How is it, having women in a relationship that's platonic? That's the word with you. I think it might exist.
Give yourself a point for that.
Now, we used it last week, but we're going to bring it back. It's cool. It's cool. How special is your relationship? Let's talk about it.
Oh, man. We going on 30 years of friendship, man. 30 years. So, since middle school. And, it's been cool vibes from day one. Close friendship, we grew up together. Of course, as you grow older, you went off to school. You become adults. People,
You ever beat any of them in a race?
Let me think.
The boy was he's nice. He's nice with it.
Wait, Mike back in high school.
Yes.
High school,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
High school, but now I can't get him. High school, yeah.
No doubt.
Except for the 400. If they raced me to 400, they would beat me by far in the 400 back then.
Like they could cheat though, because if you got the right visual effects, they can switch off.
Yeah, they too nice, and they still going strong, man. They've been doing it for a long time.
It's amazing.
They still going strong.
I love that the most about them. They still go strong.
That tenacity, that resilience. So I enjoy that. I enjoy our friendship, and we have conversations all the time. Even though they're in LA, over in Jersey, we FaceTime at night and just chop it up. Just talk about different topics and a lot of different things, like real talk. Like we should have our own podcast. The stuff we talk about. But it's a real genuine friendship, and I appreciate that. And you have to value friendships like that because it's hard to come by and it's hard to even keep. So when you find real ones, you definitely give them their flowers while they still here. You respect them, you show them love, and we do that. They support me and I support them. So shout out to them.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Definitely. Another thing, your merch is beautiful.
You said the merch?
This now. Yo.
I'm a merch dude, so
yo,
I'd rather wear people that I support rather than I'm not a big high fashion Gucci Fendi guy like that. Anyway, fuck that. Like,
man, this
y'all
gotta give me make sure y'all give me your sizes before we leave up out here. So I can send y'all some
people.
Stuff.
Some people got clothing lines. Some people take pictures. Then you got some people who have art. Like this young lady right here.
Armani, it's Armani right
Shout out to Armani again. This is Armani's face right here. This is Armani's face on a painting. It's not even a painting. You just took a regular picture.
Right, edited it.
And put it on a shirt. Well, man, when I saw this for the first time, BT, when I showed T last week, he was like, nah, he got it. What made you say, yo, I'm not just going to put out just a regular, like, could you have a dope RC9 interview shirt on right now?
I know I should have worn my this not art shirt.
But so you got a dope cool shirt right there, but you said now I'm taking it to another level, like with this one right, especially this picture right here. Who's this on this one?
Oh man, That's the flexion shirt right there, straight out of the Bronx. That's Feed a Goat. So Felicia on Instagram, she's a model. She's up and coming model. She's doing a thing. She's a young gunner. Like, talking about somebody a go getter. You really out there and getting that bread. You know, she work in the medical field and real young. She's getting ready to turn 21. She's not even 21 yet. And she's out there, got her own place, got her own car, money, and she's just focused.
And this is her on this.
Flexing. She really
I think that was the name of this shoot right here, the shot right here called Flexing.
Yeah.
This picture right here is her.
And
let's talk about the steps of how we took these pictures, how you took the picture and put it on your shirt and created a whole different style of art, not just regular merch.
It's not just regular.
It's not regular merch.
It's art.
It's art right here.
So I met her in the Bronx. I was actually going to visit my friend who moved to the Bahamas in was last year sometime. So on my way to going to visit her through the subway, I met her in the subway, you know, and I'm proactive. I'm always engaging people. If I think they got it, then I'm going to reach out to them. So she just happened to be one of the persons I met in the subway that day in the Bronx, and we exchanged information, and you know what, I pulled out the camera, and we just started clicking day one. Took a lot of pictures. That picture on the shirt is the picture I met when I met her day one. Wow. From day one. So from there, we built a rapport, you know, we started getting busy.
So you just transitioning your own artwork?
Yeah, pretty much.
From photography into the merch.
Right.
But what? Yeah. But that's not the same colors. That's not the same.
Oh,
you have to tell your tricks. Yeah, it's not the original.
That's not the original.
Yeah, because I remember you showed me the picture. And you was like, "Yo, this is where it came from," and then you went bam like this. What made you say, "Yo, I'm going this direction"?
It's just I follow my instincts, my creative instincts. I don't give too much thought into it. It's some pictures I have in the vault that's been sitting for years, and I'll go into the vault and go through some stuff, and whatever wants to speak to me, I'll pick out and just let me see what I could do with this picture, and then I just let the art speak.
So are these up for sale now, or you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's on my website, www.rc9visions.com. Okay. You go right on there. It's a section with the t-shirts and merch. I'm gonna be dropping some more, coming out with some hoodies.
You do custom orders too.
I can't. I try to stay away from doing custom orders only because I want to keep the art authentic. I don't want to feel pressured to.
I show people these pictures.
I mean, like if somebody sent you their picture and like they just wanted their picture.
Because that is on the way. They've been asking.
Yeah. They are asking. They're definitely asking.
I'm sure.
They're definitely asking. But I didn't want to spread myself thin. I didn't want to overwhelm myself. I want to stay true to the art and just allow it to be what it is instead of forcing it because due to popular demand.
Less is more.
Right.
I think artistic sensuality is good now.
He be getting
say that again.
Say it one more time.
Sensuality is good because
I need y'all Googling that at home.
You want to have your own flavor.
No, right.
And
absolutely.
As a black supported business culture, as we try to be in now, you want to support your black artists and designers and things like that. And even though you're not a designer, you're an artist. You have an artist and a vision with your picture, whatever. You can turn those pictures into art and put it on a shirt and sell it to whoever likes it, and that makes your brand and your design. And we miss that now, and I think we're building off that now because honestly, Gucci's, the Fendi's, they might get their little pull here and there, but the more we support each other as a whole, that's what's gonna make us grow stronger.
And our art is a big game, is untapped market for us, people of color. We really have to get into that. It's a wide open market, man. It's very lucrative as well. I'm going to learn it.
It's crazy. In the '80s, we tapped into it heavy, and then we fell back off.
Right.
Like with the spray paint. Shirts and wearing a graffiti shirt.
It was criminalized. That's why.
Absolutely. Just like rapping in Washington Square Park, you would get a ticket for it. They want to stop our art.
I remember having a whole jean suit on that my boy painted
and then stole it.
He hand painted it. Like, you know what I mean? So
you can
that was
and you can still get that today. You can get
it's coming back.
You can get Ron J to do you some custom shit.
But it could go down.
But we didn't tap into that
speed
market
up, Ron J. What's up?
But then
we didn't tap into to sell it. We just did it for friends.
Right, just the business.
We did that to the business aspect. Like my brother-in-law did that. He just wanted me to basically walk in billboard to show that how good he was.
But Barry,
You know what I mean? That's how that was.
Here's the opportunity you have right now.
Right.
What makes you think you can't make that shit?
No doubt. No doubt.
Get a couple of boards, get a couple of airbrushes, try to come up with your own shit.
No doubt.
But we ain't got to worry about us.
If you sell 50 for $20,
I want this one right here. I don't want nobody else's shirt. I want the Dis 9 art right here. This is what we need to get.
Oh, man.
Let's tell them one more time where we need to get.
Dis 9 art shirt, www.rc9visions.com/shop.
RC9 Visions.
You can get something fly like
everything's
that.
on the RC9 brand.
Tell us what that means with the RC9.
So RC is my name. RC, first name Ryan, last name Cook. And 9 is a significant number to me because, first of all, it's the month I was born, it's the day I was born, and 9 is the number of manifestation. 9 is the number of birthing. So, with visions, I'm a photographer. We put all together, it's like a hidden message. Ryan Cook birthing visions. Ryan Cook manifesting visions. And it's not necessary just with photography and pictures. It's just I'm a visionary. So I create. I create with mine. I only create for myself. I help other people. Mm-hmm. I empower other companies. I've been doing that before I even came into my own. That's what I've been doing from a kid. Like before I started physically creating, I've been creating with my mind since I was a kid.
I gotta ask you a question when you was a kid, because I know you've been fly for a long time.
You've
been fly for a long time, and I know the lady's been loving you for a long time. And I want you to still be on the show. I might cut your mic if you say it the wrong way. Did you ever try to push up on my girl back in the day? Did you?
Who that is? Ashley?
Did you ever?
Oh, I knew her, man. We went to school together.
Like what you mean know her?
No, we knew her.
Like footsie knew her?
Yeah, no, I knew her, man.
Like locker room or like
no, locker room. We went to the same school back in the day.
Like hold on.
No, in preschool we was behind the lockers and
y'all was playing hide and go get it.
Like coat room.
I'm playing with you. I
was making sure because
hide and go get it.
I'm just like look. I just wanted to be clear. Look, I'm not that mature. I'm not that. I'm not. Just now we can move on. Now we can move on. We can move on. And like my girl Ashley, she was with the boy Will Smith, and I know that's one of your influences.
What's her name? Tatiana Ali.
Tatiana was Ashley. Tatiana wasn't my girl. Ashley was my girl. Will Smith is one of the people that inspire you. And one of the things he always talks about is commit. And you have to commit to your roles. You have to commit. Like when you had to get on stage right here, you had to commit to that role. You had to be the drone. And right now we believe him. I think he could have took Julio Hackett. I don't know. Like it looks real. You got to commit to your art with your photography. Mm-hmm. What helps you commit and stay committed to be the best? With your interviews with RC9 and 9 on Wednesdays, what helps you and what drives you to stay committed to your craft?
That's a dope question.
Just being creative. Just want to create. I just want to create. I just want to be freedom. Being free to be me helps me to commit. Because if I can't be me, I can't commit. You know what I'm saying? That's a big part for me. Just knowing that there's more out there than what I'm experiencing right now. And so I'm going to spread my wings and I'm going to put my best foot forward in anything that I do. And it may not be the best to others, but it's the best for me at that given time and that given space. So you never know. I'm always a man of opportunity and possibilities. And it's, not to get preachy, but it's Pastor Rod Parsley. It was a book I read. It's called Touched by the Anointing. And he said the atmosphere of expectancy is the breeding ground for miracles. So I'm always expecting a miracle. And I know that.
What? Say that again.
Yeah, I was vibe.
The atmosphere of expectancy is the breeding ground for miracles.
It's the breeding ground for miracles.
Yeah. So I'm always expecting. My faith is always on 100. I'm always like looking. I'm not thinking small. I'm thinking big. And I sometimes get frustrated because I may not have the current resources to get what is in my head, and that helps me to commit and go harder because I never know when that next opportunity or that breakthrough is coming through. I could be like one person away. Then this podcast right here could get me to where I need to be. Somebody could hear it and bam, I need him. I want that, and my life could change overnight. Yeah. So when you put something forward, there's no such thing as a halfway crook. There's no such thing as halfway creative. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about
what you shoot with.
A Canon. I have a Canon 70D. I had a Mark II. So I shoot Canon.
Same.
Do you use a flash?
Man.
Do you use a white background?
Right. Yeah, I started out with lights like these.
Definitely. He puts it at work.
I don't know shit. I got a camera, but I'm not into photography. Like I try to get my daughter into it more and stuff like that. But like teasing his shit heavy, and you seem like you're into your joint hard. So like, what was your drive as, say, an adolescent or teen that made you feel like, yo, photography could be a way? Did you have any inspirations, photography-wise?
My father.
Or even video-wise, hip-hop video-wise, because, you had like Hype Williams and guys like that who inspired people video-wise or cinematography-wise to create different things. Like, what was yours?
It was my father. I was different as a kid. I wasn't the normal kid, and I still think about it to this day. I'm like, what did I do as a kid? Because whereas people, growing up, people knew the stats on the football stats, the basketball stats. I didn't know none of that. All I knew was that when the final was happening, the Final Four. People in the games like the Nintendos and Sega Genesis,
I can tell you where
the Game Gear.
Went to college at, what their stats were, shit like that.
Yeah, I wasn't even into the games. I had the Nintendo, I had the Game Gear, but I had the games that it came with. I never, like, oh, Dad, go get me the newest game. And I was like, what did I do? And I was always, now I look back, I was always creating in my head. But my inspiration came from my father, and I think that's how the photography bug bit me, because I always seen him. He always was creating in the house, so he had a camcorder. He'll set up, he'll do tricks with it. He'll do stuff like making cars disappear. And from probably 9 years old, around that time when I was asking kids, do you think you're going to be rich, or do you think you're going to be poor when you grow up? And that came from my father. Now I think about it. He used to take me out and to the rich neighborhoods, joyriding and just seeing rich houses. So that things like that and those experiences help cultivate more, better, richer in my life, and it started forming the foundation of my creativity and of my ambition.
Man, that's big. Shout out to your father. Just give a big shout out to your pops, because not enough fathers are getting enough respect and enough honor out here.
No way.
Let's get it.
Definitely.
Man, we heard of, Meek talk about dream chasing. You got a lot of people talk about dream chasing. Nah, you were a dream catcher. I never heard of that before, and I was like, man, dream catchers. You said 3% of y'all are dream catchers. You're focusing on it. It was a prayer line that y'all had. Let's talk about that.
The Dream Catchers was a group that I was amongst. You know how we have the MLM, and it was a thing called Wake Up Now. I don't know if y'all remember that. Wake Up Now.
Which one was Wake Up Now?
Wake Up Now. I forgot what it was about, but it was another MLM service, a network service where you get money. But our group was called Dream Catchers, and we have these conference lines, and we would really get it in. And I just gravitated to it because of my experience with the door-to-door sales, with just hustling and just, once again, exploring, like looking for that next thing that's going to get me to the next level. Because in me, I know I'm going to be successful. I know I'm going to be rich, but what is it? So I'm still searching. I'm in a Voyager state of mind. I'm in a journeyman state of mind. With the dream catchers, we don't chase dreams. We catch them. You gotta take hold of your dreams. You see it, go get it. Don't spend time chasing them. Let it come to you. You know what I'm saying? I like flipping the script mentally. I don't really chase my dreams. Even though I'm doing different things, I'm being who I am. Because once you start chasing dreams, you'll get worn out. You know what I'm saying? You start compromising, doing things you're not supposed to do, getting stuff you're not supposed to get in, because now you see something glittering over here and shining over here.
Don't get into her.
Yeah, right.
Why chase something you can create yourself? Right.
But you know what? Most importantly, why chase something when you can create yourself? But why? What are you chasing? Because what are you chasing is really already in you. You gotta find a way to bring it out of you.
One thing, what I love about every last one of y'all right here, you guys are you wherever you go, and that's hard to have that same confidence, to have that same, to be kind of fearless or just be comfortable in your skin, and you are very comfortable in your skin. Sometimes you're comfortable showing a little bit, y'all see he's comfortable in the skin right there. Check him out. You're from Montclair. I mean, we spoke about this like first time we was talking. And at one point, Montclair was known for with the most interracial couples accepted.
Right.
And when you go to Montclair, it's a mixed city. It's into the arts.
Right.
And you're around white people, you're around black people, you're around wealthy, all types of economic levels.
Correct.
Like, how did it help your confidence and you be around everyone and be fearless from Montclair and even to the being in the Navy? But it started in Montclair.
The Air Force, Army, right?
The Air Force. I'm sorry.
No, it definitely helped. It helped out a lot because it taught you how to be versatile, how to communicate with people who don't necessarily look like you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in a classroom with white people, Indian, all race, all backgrounds. So if you're around it every day, day in and day out, it's your norm. So when I go up, when we leave Montclair and you get older and you go to college, you go to the military, and
I was gonna say that should go back to your military training.
Right,
days,
that
you're training
too.
around these brothers and sisters.
It's just
that
normal.
Aren't from the same background as you or back, whatever. So you build that. You should have built that from then. To me, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about but prior to, like as a kid,
right?
You've been with the.
Right.
That's what I'm asking for that. And then when you get to the military, like how you saying, D, some people might need the training. You're already trained, and not knowing that you're trained, but you don't have that fear.
Right. No, and it's funny because I have other friends who are maybe from more predominantly black neighborhoods, and they're they'll go into a all-white setting, and they'll be kind of like, I'm not going in there. So I'm like, and I was like, wow. But I understand, because of their background, who they are. Not saying all people are like that who are from predominantly, black areas. But you see the difference, and I'm just glad that I was afforded the opportunity because I didn't always live in Montclair. I started Montclair in 6th grade, so first town I ever lived in was Orange, New Jersey, up until 7 years old. Then my parents moved to East Orange until the 5th grade, and from 5th grade that's when I came to Montclair, 6th grade, and so. My parents making that switch into Montclair, unbeknownst to them, is probably the best thing they did for me because I met a lot of dynamic people, a lot of great friends to this day that I'm still cool with, and it shaped me and prepared me for where I am now, and to interact with people how I do now.
You had one of the interactions right here when you're modeling in the fashion world. You come around a lot of people. And sometimes you're around people, I can't say all the letters and no disrespect.
Right.
But you're around some gay people. Mm-hmm. And you had a post one time, and you proposed a question. I asked a question, about, why is the gay community so strong and so powerful in the unity? You said with the utmost respect, and you were asking deeper questions. And I'm sure you could finish it better than me. What response did you get? You said, is there racism in the gay community? Is there this and that? Because we don't know. We not gay, and no disrespect. But I know when you proposed that question, I thought that was a powerful question. And I know you're comfortable around gay people because you got gay people that's going to be in this industry, that industry, gay cousins, friends, whatever the case may be. What kind of feedback? I'm interested to know what kind of feedback did you get from that, if any?
I do remember. I did post that a while ago, but I remember posting that question. I just want to know because you look at the community, and it's not just a race-specific community.
No.
Everybody, every color, creed, you can find it. And it's a rainbow. It's a real rainbow.
Absolutely.
But
there's separation in all those groups.
Right, and absolutely, and I just noticed that there was a unity. They were strong no matter what. They was on one accord. Like, if you mess with one of them, you mess with all of them.
Oh, it's real.
I don't care if there's, racism in a group or whatever. They all somehow stick together because I think the common denominator is that they all are fighting the same struggle, and they just wanted to be accepted. You get what I'm saying? They just want to be accepted for who they are. They just want to be. It's just let us be. That's what any of us want to be. Just want to be ourselves. We don't want anybody to alter us and change us. And, if we approve or don't approve, people may not approve of us being straight or not straight. They might not approve of us being a podcast host or interviewer. It might approve of me of being a photographer and shooting away. Just let me be. So I figured that common denominator, they came and banded together and say, you know what, we're going to fight for our rights. They just had the audacity to band together and make it happen. Which I think we all could learn something from, especially in a black community as a whole, to come together and really fight for what we believe in and really true unity. Go back to the Malcolm and Martin days where we walked and marched and stuck together and boycotted and truly boycotted, not just say we're going to boycott on social media, but really stand behind our words. And so the response, I believe, the person I went to school with had answered. I can't remember what his response was, but he dropped some nuggets on there. I believe it's still on my page. If I'm not mistaken, it was a video, but he dropped some nuggets like it's racism everywhere. It's racism everywhere.
Like
it is. It's racism everywhere.
One thing, people don't know this, and I want to share it because when it comes to Christ, when it comes to religion, some people look at Christ like you loving Christ or being part of a church or whatever the case may be. Like it's not. You can't be cool. You can't take pictures like this. You can't live your life and be fly at the same time. Like Christ equals corny, which it does not. Or Christ equals caged up, with sometimes that feel. You're an ordained minister.
King Solomon had gold in his hair, man.
Dog.
Talk that.
He had gold in his hair.
I knew it was gonna come.
King Solomon was the man.
Why? Do you ever get that backlash? From the church going forward.
Initially, when I made the switch into the photography world, not heavy. And I know a lot of people watched. I mean, I may had a friend or two who would say, "Hey, you might, you posting these pictures, you might want to, they was doing it out of the love of being a brother in Christ, pulling my coattail."
But what's wrong with it? What I don't feel anything is wrong with it. I feel you could love Christ and still live your passion and still take pictures of women like that. What's like? How can we bring that together? How can we get that stigma away?
What it is, I think it's, scripturally, you don't want to have the perception, lure people into sin by what you're doing. Because I know, I'm a minister, and they say, "Oh, yeah, you're a minister, but you posting these pictures out here, they're scandalous pictures, and you was leading people to Christ. Now you about to lead them to."
I don't feel like that's going to lead. To me, it's empowering.
Right. You know what? Art is art, and art is always subjective. So art is always going to be controversy, and everybody feels an opinion. Somebody come from a religious view. Listen, if it don't, I know my heart, and we always hear that all the time. Oh, God knows my heart, but I know how far to take things, how far. Now I know my intent. I know the energy which I'm putting out, and I know what I'm creating it for. Now, if I had some kind of hidden agenda behind what I was doing, if I'm out there marketing and selling to Playboy or Hustlers magazine or things of that nature, out there pimping these women, doing something on the side, then that would be a whole problem. But at the end of the day, we all are art. We all come in every shape and color.
With your church following background, like that would be a problem with them with that, right?
It would be a problem. If I was still active in the role of being behind a pulpit, I wouldn't be doing this.
Okay.
So I'm not in that capacity anymore. Not for that reason, just something that I evolved out of. I got that experience of being an assistant youth pastor. I had experience of Sunday school teacher, Sunday school superintendent. I preached in front of many people. And many sermons I preach, but I'm not in that capacity anymore. Not for the sake of I left it for the art. It's just something I transitioned out of and moved into a new phase of my life, and this is what I'm doing now. But it doesn't change who I am, the core of me, because I'm still ministering to people. Me not in the same way, but I'm ministering to those like who may be on the street or who may be at work, and just who are regular folks like us. We all the same.
Absolutely.
We all the people.
Absolutely.
So my form has just changed. My style of ministry has
TJ
changed.
talks about that all the time. Like, church don't have to be in the building.
No.
There's a scripture on it.
What's the TJ? I don't know the scripture. What's the scripture?
Well, it's actually two of them. First of all, is the Most High dwelleth not in temples made by hand.
Right.
I don't know the exact one, like the actual book. I forgot. I know it's in the New Testament, I think. I want to say. And then the other one is just when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, so am I.
Yeah.
So all that church shit is bullshit.
I think what it was, I moved from being, and it's no shade on the church, I moved from being religious, into a true relationship with God. Before I found and then being religious, it helped me because it built that foundation I needed. It built that word and helped me to grow. But now it's saying that, for my calling, my particular purpose, that phase has long, I moved on from that. Now I have evolved into a different type of minister. Sometimes you have street evangelists. You know what I'm saying? You have different type of evangelists. Not everybody's not behind a pulpit.
That's what the prophets was doing.
Right? It was in the streets.
Absolutely.
It was in the streets. Jesus was sitting down with the tax collectors. He wasn't like them. We're not conforming to them, but we are relating. We understand. It's old saying, but people say people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So it's the same technique.
Some of the best ministers and mentors are people that went through the struggle, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at their lives, you think, oh, they're just perfect. No, they went through exactly what you went through. That's why they can tell you what's going on.
The people that don't have nothing to hide.
If not more.
That's right.
You was about to say Elijah Muhammad. You about to mention Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
How many kids that he had out of wedlock, stuff like that you could bring up or mention, but yet his message and power was a lot more higher than that.
It wasn't about him.
Well,
it's not about him.
You gotta extrapolate. Like at the end of the day, them men.
Whoa! Did he
That's
just
extrapolate?
what? That's what you coming with, T?
So we go with the words.
Go ahead. My fault. He extrapolate. Okay, you got it. You got it. T. You got it.
But no, I mean, like you gotta take the message from the messenger. Like, not look at the messenger. Like you gotta do that in everything. people get so caught up in the messenger.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You gonna miss the message. Like people be like, yo, like you get some knowledge from a bum. Like
absolutely.
But they probably got the most knowledge ever, actually.
But we're in that show me age.
Right.
Okay. Well, you gonna fail.
I mean, we've been in that age for a long.
The younger generation.
I'm just saying, people in general.
They're in the TikTok stage.
People
in
in general.
real stage where they got to see the latest trend
they
going
want
on,
to see
and
it.
they got to make it better or try to.
Right. Absolutely.
Here you go. They got to try to extrapolate off of that to make sure that they are within their boundaries of being cool.
Right.
No doubt.
A lot of these kids now see boundaries as far as being cool and is how many views am I getting? Am I doing the challenge that's out? Are people watching me doing the challenge that's out? Fuck all that shit. I will snatch my daughter up. I will snatch all they shit up, they phones, all that, before you think that this means anything more than the wisdom that you
false validation.
They have way
or
more influences than we had. We don't have nowhere near the influences that they're going through.
Right.
Like being a kid now is tough.
Was Cobra Commander on G.I.
Exactly.
Joe.
Like
Cobra Commander.
Like, come
wow,
on, like,
he took it back.
I'm trying to think of plots. Like,
you know how hard it is. You know how hard it is for a kid to say I'm being myself.
No.
You know how hard it is.
They don't even know what it is to be themselves.
You know how hard it is for a kid to say I'm being myself.
Wow.
Since we talk about like influences in people, the one person you have mentioned to me a few times, Miss Gina King Wilkins.
That's right.
I think is her name. How powerful and what type of influence have y'all had on each other?
Wow. So Gina King, I met her. She's shout out to her. She's a dynamic woman. She's actually a Plainfield resident as well. So. This woman, she's the epitome of black excellence. I mean, she used to be a social worker. She retired as a parole officer in Newark, and now she's the owner of Humbly Bold LLC, which is in Rahway. She has her own store in Rahway. She actually has 2 stores in Rahway. So it's Rahway. She has her own vehicle. Like she has her own online. So shout out to her because I'm a plug her because I'm an ambassador.
No doubt.
I'm her
no
ambassador.
That's what we need. We gotta get that out. We gotta get that out. Spit it 5 more times.
Right. So www.onehumblybold.com is her site. She actually having a Cyber Monday sale, so y'all get on there and support black businesses for real.
Mm-hmm.
But she's been a mighty influence in a way of she's old enough to be my mother, but it's like we're friends and best friends. And her influence on me is in such a way where if I'm going through some hardship, I need a level head and sound mind. She gives me clear, unbiased advice. She takes no sides, and she just lets you know how it is, clear cut and direct, and I appreciate that about her. She also is a mentor as far as she does photography as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, on a business scale, I go to her, so you think about my rates, you think about this, she'll give me my feedback, and tell me how I should move. I may take the advice, I may not, or I may listen to the advice and apply it later, but she's really like a life coach to me. A life partner for real, like on platonic. She's really amazing, and I couldn't think of a better person other than my parents,
no doubt.
who have a greater influence on my life just at this stage of the game. And we've been friends about 10 years now.
Beautiful right there. I want to give a shout out before we close it up. Shout out to Lyle, shout out to Sype, shout out to Kiki. Shout out to my man Chris Stevens. Got Rob Gary on the check-in.
Rob Gary on the check-in.
We got some track legends. We got some beasts on the check-in. Man,
football player Rob Gary?
Nah. Track Lenape. Yeah. Legend. A legend right there.
We got to get the Facebook back up on the main street.
We gonna get it going.
We're missing our comments.
We gonna get it going. Nah, we in here. We in here. Before we close out, let's tell, first of all, Wednesday, what are we watching? This Wednesday coming up. It's 2 days. Where are we? Who are we watching? And what are we watching? What type of experience that we going to have on Wednesday? It's going to get real.
It's going to get real. So it's a lady that I've shot twice already. Her name is Kat. And her Instagram name, I think, is Rubia Cat 92. I believe is on my flyer. Forgive me if I said her name wrong. But, she's a real good lady. She's different, and we're going to get into her being an entrepreneur, being a podcast host, but also being a sex worker. And listen, she's a sex worker.
Let's talk about it.
In what capacity?
Gotta find out on Wednesday. RC9 at 9.
RC9. Listen,
interview.
I'm gonna give this one hit.
Long time.
She's a type. She's on OnlyFans. She's in the top 1.8 percentile ranking wise. So the only reason
her
why
subscription fee about $35.
Yeah, she get into it. She's smart. She's a smart businesswoman. She's open about it. But the reason why I wanted to interview her because she's not afraid to talk about who she is and what she do. And I want people to know the pros and cons of the world that she's in, because we hear in OnlyFans all the time. We hear a lot of things are sexualized and it's a whole nother era.
Yeah.
We go with the era with the strippers and stuff like that, but now we on virtual with it now.
We know promo code for her site.
Right. So we're going to get into it. We're going to really break it down from the beginning to end, how she got in that lifestyle and what it means to her and what kind of, the backlashes and how she prevails and why does she do what she do.
True indeed.
A lot of them are getting it on that platform nowadays.
Right.
So.
If somebody wants to be shot as beautifully as these women are right here, tell them how they should get in contact with you.
Oh, man, the vibes is www.rc9visions.com, or you could email me at rcbooking79@gmail.com. And up until Saturday, we got a 50% off. We got a promo code. It's called RC9 Holiday. So if you want to get your shoot in, we're doing a 50% off. Kicked it off with Cyber Monday. We're gonna get you right. This is for not only your personal portfolios, for family. This is for events. This is for if you just need content. Period. We got you. 50% off. Book it. Book your spot now. The last booking for this deal has to be in by Saturday. After that, it's back to regular prices.
Where's your studio?
My studio, I shoot in 3 places. Media City Studio in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. And I shoot also in Metuchen. I have a studio in Metuchen, and one we're currently working on right now. Me and actually Ms. Jeannie King Wilkins, we're fixing that up in Rawway on Irvin Street.
Excellent.
So that should be up and running by January. The studio, we call it Studio 1663.
Nice.
Okay.
What's your last words that you want to tell them?
Man, the last words, just be yourself. Be you. Life is too short to get caught up in the nonsense. Just create. Just strive to be the best version of yourself you could possibly be. Love one another. Show love to one another. And black excellence all the way, man.
Man, Kanye says 1,000 U's. It's only one of me.
Be lucrative. Be creative.
Be lucrative. Be creative. That's it.
RC9 at 9. Make sure y'all check it this Wednesday. We want to say thank you.
No problem. Thank you
for coming through.
Appreciate you coming through.
Thank
Dope
you.
interview.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man. We're going to sign out, man. Shout out to all my barbers. Shout out to all my stylists. Nick, what up? Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Marlon. Shout out to Amin. Miss Kiki Nell, what's going on? Shout out to everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all support. Share this. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I got that from him right there.
Tell a friend to tell a friend
yes,
to tell another friend.
Yes. We're Beards and Baldheads. We'll holler at y'all next week.